What's good, everybody? Welcome back to JAZZYTV for another video. Today's video, we're going to be doing a recipe video. Now, I've been watching this guy called Mark Wiens. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. If you have not checked that video out, you need to check out his channel. He has all kinds of videos and vlogs of him eating food from around the world. And I've been kind of inspired into trying and eating more of, I don't know if you want to say Jamaican, Caribbean food. So for today's recipe, I'm going to be trying a stew chicken. This was my first time and I had to make some substitutions and things like that. But I'm just going to show you a recipe that I found online and that I actually tried. And then if you guys want, you can try to make it yourself. I did get some requests from other people in my DM, so I'm gonna give you guys a couple of cooking videos here and there. If you guys want to see those things, leave a comment below, or again, you can DM me too. So let's just get into this little video that I started. Okay, here I went to the international market, and of course they have all kinds of different things. And the reason why I came here is because I was making the stewed chicken, and as you can see, it was kind of hard to drive and steer with this cart. But let me pause this. You see this here, right? This was a bitter melon. Now, my mom, I don't know why she's afraid of these things. They look like rats, I guess, if you want to say. So that's why I picked this up, and then I ended up doing that to her. So, you know, I always have to mess with my mom. But just watch the clip. I'm not going to say too much so you can see what actually happened. I'm going to pick you out a good one.
Stop, Jazzy.
What? This is a good one though. It's a bitter melon. What does that look like to you?
Put it right in here. Stop and don't put it on me. I'm not playing. Stop, Jazzy. Put it. Stop. Put it in there.
Alright, she gets so mad at me because I was messing with her with that. I don't know why she's scared of those things. But really, I came here to actually get a pepper, which was the Scotch bonnet pepper. So that's why I came to the international market. Now, when I did come, they didn't have them. So you see the chilies there, and they said this was a habanero pepper, but I'm not sure if they're the same thing. So some of them say they're related in the cousin family. I'm not exactly sure, but I ended up getting that. And these are the ingredients that I used to actually make the stewed chicken. So I don't know. Let me know about the habanero pepper thing. It tasted pretty good to me. It was hot, but they say it's like the same thing, but you know. But there's all the ingredients: peppers, green onions, rice. What else is there? Ginger and ketchup and things like that. So that was the recipe there. I believe everything was like a teaspoon or 2 tablespoons, and of course we used chicken thighs. So that right there is brown sugar, and then the browning. Now, one thing I can say is I wish I added more of the browning. The recipe called for 2 teaspoons, but I don't know, maybe I could have used a little bit more, or actually when I cooked it to make it darker, but you'll see that part later in the video. So add that in. Garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, I think 1 teaspoon of salt, but that wasn't 1 teaspoon at all. I did less, but you can add more if you want. And then there's some paprika. I believe 1 teaspoon of paprika, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1 of paprika. And then some thyme as well. And I thought that could fit. I don't know what I was thinking. That was not going to fit in the jar. But yeah, 2 of those. Of course, some black pepper. And then some allspice. That was actually 1/4 of a teaspoon of allspice. And then we had some fresh ginger. Now, my mom had this ginger video, and we got so much ginger, like a bag full. We still have some of it in the freezer, so we just freeze it, and then when we're ready to use it, to unthaw it and peel it and things like that. So that's why the texture was different. Normally you can scrape it off with a spoon, but this one I couldn't do that, as you can see, because the texture like defrosted on part of it. So that's what we had to do. And then they want some green onions. Chop them up. Didn't that look so good? Try to speed it up for you guys because that was gonna take forever. Then of course just scoop and add everything in the bowl. When you cook, I like to see the colors of everything. When you lay it out, that's why it looks so much better. It's so pretty. And then here's the peppers I was telling you about. The recipe said when you cut it, cut the seeds and stuff out of it so it's not as spicy. Now, this one that I made actually was really spicy, so maybe I could have cut more of the seeds out. I thought it wasn't going to be that hot, but it was hot. So less of the seeds, and maybe that less of the seeds, because I chopped it up pretty good. I thought it was good enough for me. So you're just gonna, the recipe always says chopped, so that's what I did. I kind of diced them up a little bit and then try to chop them up even smaller as much as I could. But that's pretty much all I did with all of the peppers and other ingredients that I used. So again though, comment below and let me know about the whole habanero thing, if it is the same as the Scotch bonnet pepper, because they pretty much look the same, but you know, I'm not really sure. They could be similar in taste, I guess, if you want to say, but I don't really know. But again, comment below. I'm not an expert. Let me know if you know. Next was the ginger, chopped again as the other ones. And you can see, because it was frozen, it was still like frozen in the middle a little bit. So the outside was a little like squishy and kind of hard to kind of grab in a way. But I did the best I could with it. Ginger doesn't matter. Ginger is a good taste for you for everything. And that was supposed to be a half of red pepper. I didn't have any regular red peppers, so I used my sweet mini peppers. And again, you're just slicing and chopping everything up. They work just fine though, the sweet mini peppers. They work really good. I actually used 2 of those, by the way, too. So just stay tuned and watch me chop up the veggies. I'll stop talking. I don't even think you guys can hear any of this. Turn it up a little bit. Now that I chopped them all up, I go ahead and add them in the bowl. And I also use some garlic. I believe 1 or 2 teaspoons again. Everyone loves garlic. So the onions you're gonna cut the same way. It's actually gonna be 1 whole onion. So, okay, I've seen this all the time on cutting onions. I wanted to try it. I've never done it before. It can be a faster way of cutting it so your eyes won't start burning. And I can say that was way faster and it really did help. So I'm glad I did that. I don't have the cutting technique. I'm not going to cut my fingers. They hold it like this some kind of way you do it. I don't know how. But either way, the onion was cut. I did it good enough. And I just want to keep chopping it up as small as I could. Look how good that looks, all the colors together. That's why I like eating, like trying different foods and stuff like that. And all kinds of different colors in your food. It makes a big difference. And the food tasted so good. Just wait till you see the final product. Then you're just gonna go in with your hands and mix everything up. Sped that up for you. Don't be afraid to get messy and use your hands. That's the best utensil you have, honestly. Now look how good that looks. Man. Alright, now for this next part, you have to take all the peppers from the chicken. You can separate it and put it on another plate, or you can just put it right on the pan like I did. But all I did was take all the peppers and onions and everything off like that and just lay it on the side of the bowl so I won't have to wash too many dishes and things like that until the pan heated up, and then I got ready to put it on. Then I almost knocked the whole bowl over, putting all the pieces of chicken on one side like a dummy. See? Now for this part, I guess you're supposed to brown it for about 5 to 6 minutes on each side. Pretty much almost cooked all the way through basically, because then you're going to add it back to the pot. You're going to remove it and then add it back to the pot again when you actually cook it with the stew and the other ingredients. But this is more to just brown it and get crispy. I try to do an Instagram view for Instagram too, but I never posted that. Ooh. Flip. See what I mean? It looks dark, but it could have been darker. So that's one thing I wish I did on it. But again, this is my first time making this recipe. So now I know I can try it again, and actually don't be afraid to leave it on longer. And I was really hungry, so that's another reason why. But yeah, that's one thing you can see, a lesson learned. It looks so good though. Okay, and this is when you just remove. Let me turn it down a little bit. That's when you remove it, and then you actually put it on another plate or a side, and then you're gonna add your veggies to that same pan without cleaning it or anything, because the flavor from the chicken is gonna be in the pan already. And then when you put your liquid, it's gonna soak all of that up anyway. So just add that in there. And then after that, you're gonna get it nice and soft for about 5 minutes probably, and then we're gonna add the chicken back in again. All right, cooked long enough. Now we're adding the chicken again, and this is gonna cook a little bit more, and we're gonna add all the other liquid ingredients to make it into a stew. So the chicken broth, of course, a little less sodium, less salt as possible. I just added a little bit there because it is 1 cup, but I didn't fill that to the top because I didn't want to spill it again. So add a cup of broth. Sizzle disappeared. Look at that. And a cup of water. And then, okay, don't judge me for this part. We ran out of ketchup, but I did have packets of ketchup. You know, the ketchup like you get from McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever other restaurant you eat at. Those come in handy, so save your ketchup packages. So that's what it's supposed to be, 2 teaspoons, so I used 2 packets. It's about the same. Then stir it up and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. I think 20-30 minutes. You know when it'll be done. That's the before. And excuse me, there's the after. Oh my gosh, I want some more now. Now you can see there why I said I wish I did it darker. I should have browned the meat a little bit more, but it still wasn't bad. Everything tasted good. And I made some white rice too, by the way. And I want extra peppers and everything in there because I do like to eat peppers by themselves. Then you gotta get the juice. Yes. Parsley. Little parsley. I actually added too much. I put that on Facebook or Instagram, wherever I posted that picture. I actually added way too much parsley. Now, I'm gonna pause this. Are you guys ready to see the final look of this plate? You gotta let me know, or else I'm not gonna press play. Okay. This chicken was so good. Now, there you can see that is the final look of the chicken. Oh my god, it was so good. I have to make that again. So now that wrapped up the end of my recipe video. If you want to see some more of these, you got to make sure you let me know in the comments below. And also, if you want to see some more of the food that is actually not whole tutorials and things like that, I do post on my Instagram page. I have a food blog, which is Jazzy Eats It. I believe that's the name, but the picture is going to be right there. And then I also have links down below so you guys can check that out. And again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the post notification bell turned on, because we're going to be making more videos. And you guys, again, give me feedback. What do you guys think about the food? Leave comments either on Instagram itself, or you can head to my DMs on my regular Instagram account, which is right there again. So make sure you follow me on there too, because pretty soon I'm thinking about doing giveaways. Even if I do a giveaway probably once a month, but I'm gonna have it to where there's a code word in every video. So this is not the formal introduction, I guess, of me doing this giveaway, but it's just like a sneak preview. So stay tuned for that, because I'm probably gonna start doing that pretty soon. So just stay tuned for those kind of videos. And again, if you follow my Instagram and my YouTube, that way you know of when I'm doing the giveaways, and you can actually enter in that way, because those are going to be some of the requirements. So again, that wraps up the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.